Hello and welcome to our special event called One Queen and Four Kings. The goal of this program is to identify different men that we encounter in our lives and appreciate them and celebrate them and take a closer look at what makes them special and what is important to them in our relationship. That is what feeds into that role that they perform. On the other hand, the goal of this program is also to increase the happiness level of you, our viewers. Research has shown that when we express gratitude to people who are important to us, our happiness level actually goes up. So we're going to be encouraging you to do something definite about expressing gratitude to this special men that we are going to identify. It could be a visit, if you can do that. It could be a phone call. It could be writing a note, a text, or a very lengthy email. But you do need to express that gratitude and also do some acts of kindness. So I am so excited to have this first man that we are going to be appreciating the role of persons in our lives who are biological relatives, but who have done amazing things to make us who we are. So I am Queen Esther, and it is my joy to welcome to this moment my one and only uncle, Mr. Mordecai. You welcomed, uncle. You welcome.
Thank you very much. And I keep thinking Hadassah, I mean Esther, Queen Esther, of the heritage that you so proudly now wear, and thinking of the journey that we've come through from being taken as captives, our families being taken from Babylon and brought to Shushan, and the things that have brought us here and kept us strong. I think of the experiences of you as a little girl losing your parents. And that was a hard time for you. And
Yeah.
I could do nothing more than take you in to my home and claim you as my daughter. And I am so glad I did. You know,
Uncle, I am eternally grateful to you for that. You know, losing mom and dad for me as a young girl, that was so devastating. I felt so hopeless, so lost, so confused because dad was gone, mom was gone. How was I ever, there went all my dreams, as a little girl. I was hoping that my daddy was going to walk me down the aisle and give my hand in marriage, and my mom was going to be there to, show me how to be a woman, and they were gone. And you came along. You came along because not only was it that we had to deal with the loss of my parents, then we had to leave familiar grounds and come to a strange land. How could I have ever made it without your guidance, without your strength, without, I just can't imagine. But uncle, how was that for you? Have you always been so strong and brave, and how were you able to care for me in spite of your own issues, Uncle?
No, it was not always easy. There was many difficult roads. The most difficult roads were when I would hear you crying, and I would have to go and comfort you, and I had no clue what that was supposed to be. I trusted in God to show me what I was supposed to be showing to you. And you were such a respectful child. I was amazed that I would give you the simplest and humblest task, and it would be done so amazingly well. I just didn't understand. I was thankful, even when we had some difficult times, that you never stopped listening to me.
Wow, Uncle. You said something that really touched me just now, that as a parent, you had to look to God to show you how to take care of me. Because I've been wondering, how could you have raised a girl? Maybe if it was a boy, you can relate, but you raised me as a young girl. And now I'm hearing you say that you had to trust God to teach you to parent me. No wonder you gave that God to me. You gave that God to me, and that gave me confidence. Yeah, we did have rough patches. Yeah, I know there were times when I would, push it, and it was because I was so confused, Uncle. To be very honest, there were times that I felt so angry. I felt so angry, and I would just do things that were so nasty, like I would storm off, but you were still patient with me. You were still patient with me. And that helped me to be able to adjust to all the changes. Changes were going on. I was adjusting to the fact that mom and dad were gone. I was adjusting to the fact that we were in a new country. And my whole body was changing as a young lady. So many confusing things at different levels, but you were so strong, you were so consistent, and you gave me confidence because, Uncle, what was going on in your mind? How could you have told me to go to the king's court? What was all of that?
Well, if you remember, I would always tell you to trust God because
Very
that was the
true.
only way that I made it and the only way that I could teach you was to make sure that all that you did, and you demonstrated it in every task you did, even when you disagreed with me, you would always come back and be respectful and say, I don't like it, I don't agree, but I will follow your advice. And I could only say, God help my advice to be good. And I would always come to you when I felt I needed to change my advice and explain to you. I felt it was okay to show to you that I too can sometimes be wrong. And you
Very true.
always
I remember.
listened. I always listened to you. And together we have gotten this far. And when you grew as a person to be so beautiful inside, and
Thank you.
then you didn't even know how beautiful you had become outside. It was hard for me to see you go to the king, but I knew that there was a specific reason why you must be going, and I had to trust God with you, even though I would pace outside back and forth every day to figure out if I could use my influence to find out what you were doing and how you were doing, and then telling God, yes, I trust you, but I still paced.
Uncle, that was too funny. That was too funny. Seeing you in front, just pacing up and down. It's like, what is he doing? But I knew that it was because you loved me and you cared about me, and for you to have had that confidence to move me forward, into going to the king's court, that was amazing. And I think it was because you also helped me to be settled in my identity as a Jewish girl. Because, one of the things that was always causing that thing between us, I wanted to be like the other girls. I wanted to wear what they wore, did what they did, and you would tell me, Hadassah, you are from a different place. You belong to Jehovah, and you will establish that for me. You made me feel confident in who I was, even though I was different culturally, but you helped me to love who I was for who I was, and I think, so even though you were pacing up and down, and you had given me God, and that helped me to be confident. That helped me, and I took that with me. But uncle, you know what? One of my friends told me that they had an older cousin also who would pace in front of their bedroom, but it wasn't to take care of them. And that really made me so sad because, and as she was saying that, other girls were like, that's right, me too. They would come to our bedrooms and do some very, very nasty things. Thank you, uncle, for respecting me like that, because you respected my body, you respected me for who I was, then I could also respect you. Thank you so much.
God puts us in a place where we have to remember to keep him first. And as we keep him first, I can't help but keep you first and safe in his arms. And he
Well,
entrusted me.
wow, thank you. But how did you were saying that we had those rough patches. I remember when I wanted to go and do stuff with my friends, and you said I couldn't. Boy, was I angry. Oh, it's like I felt that you didn't understand my world. You didn't understand, and you were just, and I was so angry, and I was furious with you. But you know what? You took time to identify with how I was feeling as a young girl. I remember you said that, Hadassah, you are feeling angry, and that is okay. And then you explained to me why you took that stand, that you didn't want me to go out with the girls that night. And I'm so glad that I listened to you, because here I am today as the queen, as the first lady, as the one that the king chose. And that was because of your guidance. Thank you so much for being consistent, but also being caring, and for being firm. And you could have been a man and said, she's going to be fine, but for the fact that you were out there inquiring, wanting to know what was going on, that showed that you did care, and that is what makes you so special to me. And that is why I have come to say thank you, uncle. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for caring. Thank you that even though I was not your biological daughter, it never felt like that. At least I did not see it, in the way you took care of me and made sure that all my needs were met. And, and even the times when there were things that you couldn't relate to, I remember you getting that auntie around, to help you understand, like when you had to do my hair, and, you know, get me fitted, it's like that was all girl stuff, and you did not pretend like you could do it. You got help, you got someone, to do
Yes.
that. And I really appreciate you doing that. I appreciate you doing that. Is there anything else that you would like to say, Uncle?
Just thank you for enduring with me and continue to show the grace, the poise, and beauty that you have developed all these years. God's blessings. And
Thank
I
you.
am always here for you.
Thank you, Uncle Mordecai. So to all our viewers, you have been in our conversation between myself as Queen Esther and my lovely, wonderful uncle. Actually, he's an older cousin that took care of me, Mr. Mordecai. If you are able to identify men like Mordecai in your life, please express your gratitude to them. Affirm them. Give them a phone call. Pay a visit. Do something and let them know just what they mean to you. One queen and four kings. Thank you and bye for now.